Well, welcome one and all to the Retro G1 Hound review. And doesn't our boy look fabulous? Well, of course he is. And one of the things that you guys probably took note of whenever he came out of Optimus's trailer is that this boy rolls extremely smoothly. Which, back in the day, the focus was more on the alt mode than the robot mode. And so why don't we go ahead and we'll look at a few of those details. But to kind of get a little bit of a better grasp, why don't we go ahead and pull in his friend Nest Bumblebee. So starting off with the fact that much like B over here that has a nice detailed interior, you can see that even on Hound, the seats, and even down there on the dashboard, there is some detailing. Now, unlike Bumblebee, he doesn't have a steering wheel, but that's because it would get in the way during this guy's transformation. But I did notice it is kind of funny that they both apparently have to have that spare tire and gas can on the back. But the one thing that I mentioned whenever we talked about this guy in the top 10 one is that I felt he needed something like Hound because this machine gun is iconic for that look. But I do like the fact that he does have those obviously superb animation accurate details like the Autobot symbol there and the star there and just the other little bits over it that get picked out that help this vehicle mode to stand as the character it is supposed to be, which I am loving that. Even looking at these guys, you can kind of see some of the similarities. You know, he's obviously got, like we were just talking about, he's got the star and the Autobot symbol, and he's generally got a lot of the right details. But again, this was designed to be a pre-Earth Cybertronian Hound, and the original guy is a 1945 World War II Jeep Willie. So, you know, it's not gonna look exactly the same, but it is just kind of nice for right now to kind of see a comparison between these two boys. However, if we're speaking of Generation 1 characters, and he looks like he fits in rather well. Now, yes, I know this is not the Generation 1 Optimus Prime, but it's essentially the same thing, so shush, okay? And to be honest, Hound does look good with these three boys right here, and these four specifically are going to be on a shelf by themselves, so I'm glad to see that it doesn't look ridiculous. And again, he does tie in a little bit better with Hot Rod, again matching more of that animation aesthetic. These two boys obviously don't align as well, but it's not so horrible. They still feel like they do connect on some level. So, having finally gotten to robot mode, he is now rocking his animation accurate rocket launcher, which, speaking of that, the missile itself comes as part of a set of 3 on a sprue. However, to me it just kind of feels a little redundant since they obviously have removed the spring feature from the missile launcher. He actually will rock his animation rifle. So we'll go ahead and put that right there. And before we move on, there are some other things like the machine gun, like the gas can and the spare wheel, that they don't have dedicated storage or reintegration like we would see on a modern day figure, which, I mean, that's something that I think we take for granted, and this really kind of highlights that. But I don't view that as a negative because I have other Transformers that their accessories do the same exact thing, and you know what? It's fine. So one of the things I wanted to go ahead and bring out is that his shoulders right here, they actually kind of slide in for robot mode so that the wheels can come up and fill in the wheel well right here. However, when you pull his arms out as far as they can go, his arm over here, because of the rifle, can only go up about that far before it starts coming into conflict with where the mirror sits. Now, you can go ahead and push his arm all the way up here, but you can see at that point the gun has not only slightly popped out of his hand, but because it's having to, you know, butt up against that mirror, he can't even hold it straight anymore. So that's something that I didn't know when I bought him, and it's just a minor flaw because, again, of this boy's design. So if you want your Hound to be holding it forward facing, well, you're kind of out of luck. So you can see our boy here with Spike, Slag, Hot Rod, and Optimus, and let's not even get started. If you make a comment about him being Slug now, I'm deleting it. I don't care. And despite the fact that him and Hot Rod both are sporting that more vibrant animation deco, it doesn't contrast too terribly with Optimus or Slag here. So these 4 Autobots are actually going to be on the same shelf together, and I'm willing to bet that they will look awesome. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time guys, we'll see you in another review.
Hey Rabbit, watch this. Haha, here's your friend Megatron to keep you company.
Holograms look so real, nobody'll know the difference.
Raj, you just gave me a great idea.